Ken Kraetzer for CanVets Media. I have a chance to talk to the defensive coordinator, Army football, and that is Nate Woody. And Coach, just a remarkable game out of Kansas State last week. I know you probably put it away. We're still talking about it in the media. But, holding Kansas State to 74 yards rushing and 172 yards passing is remarkable. What did you see that really helped you with that successful performance?
Well, number one, the atmosphere in the stadium was outstanding. It was a team with a huge, background of where they've done an awful lot of good things. And going into the ball game, it was one that our guys really focused well. So when we stepped into the stadium, you could tell that there was just an air of confidence, and I'm not egotistical, but just an air of confidence in how we were going to play. And I thought maybe the two halves were a little bit different. We had to hang in there and hold them to some field goals, and on a fourth down play we gave up a touchdown that man, I wish I had that call back. I might have gone in a different direction, but I thought our kids really laid it on the line, and our offense did a great job of complementary football. I think their defense suffered a little bit when they had to go right back out there after the kickoff return for the touchdown, and then turn right back around and kick the ball off of their frontline guy and get the ball back. So our offense just kept possession of the ball, and not only that, they put points on the board, and that's huge. And then when it came time for us to go out there and do our thing, Colin Madison was outstanding. I mean, just play after play after play, he was there. But there was other guys too. Caleb Fortner got great pressure on the quarterback, and guys were flying around and playing hard. So you learn how to celebrate the wins in this business, because it's pretty tough if you don't. But yeah, we've now moved on to North Texas, and that's a heck of a team that we're getting ready to play.
Hey, just a question, because I was watching the play where they got the one touchdown of the game offensively. It was, as you said, it was a 4th and 7, and it looked like you got caught in one-on-one coverage there. Jarrell Williams was like all over the guy trying to knock it down, but it sounded like was it just where they managed to figure out how to do a one-on-one coverage?
Yeah. There wasn't a lot of times where we gave up one-on-one coverage, and sometimes we move it around. Sometimes it's going to be one guy, sometimes it's going to be somebody else. So we try to keep the quarterback guessing a little bit, but he knew he could see the pressure coming, and did a nice job of throwing the ball up to the receiver. And it was probably one of the better throws that I've seen the quarterback make. It was an outstanding throw. So that's fine. Clap and let's move on. But and the guys did. They didn't get down. After that one, they kept playing hard. Made good things happen for us.
And certainly stopping 2 drives for field goals. The first drive by Kansas State, then one later in the second quarter, really kept you in the game, so that the offense could really prevail in the second half. How good is it when sometimes you're able to stop a drive by a field goal?
You know what? You don't want to give up any points. 3 and outs or takeaways are the thing that you shoot for. But when if all you're doing is giving up field goals, then you can win a lot of football games. And if you play great red zone defense and you don't let the deep ball go over your head, and you can stop the run, and that's a formula for winning a lot of football games. So our kids have lined up and played. I thought much better red zone defense in this. In the second game than we did the first. And maybe some of the calls in the first game I would have liked to have had back. I would have liked to go in a different direction on some of those. But I like our defense. We're playing hard.
Now, you were probably looking at the North Texas notes on the flight home from Kansas State. What do you see in that team? They're throwing the ball well, scoring a lot of points so far.
I think North Texas has got an identity. You know, they're really good at moving the ball down the field. They're good at getting the ball in the end zone, and then their defense has stepped up and is really doing a great job of giving extra possessions back to the offense. So they're nationally ranked on both sides of the ball. They and I think when you're scoring, when you're averaging 44 points a game, you probably ought to be undefeated. And hopefully we can get out there and play some good defense and keep a few of those points off the board.
How different or similar are they to the team that you defeated down in Texas last year?
I think you'll see a lot of the similar plays. I think they've come up with some new gadgets or new things that they want to do in the red zone, to help themselves be a little bit better down there. They can run the football, they can throw it. The new quarterback that they have is a guy that is young and he's one of the best in the country right now as far as quarterback rating. I think he does a tremendous job of reading the secondary and they do a great job of counting numbers and seeing if you have the extra guy in the box to stop the run, or if you got the extra guy in the secondary to help stop the pass, and they'll take what you give them. So it's this will be a heck of a test for us, and one that we're anxious to get on and see how good we are.
Thanks, Coach. Guys on.
Sal, you got anything for Coach?
Yeah, hey Coach Woody, thanks for your time, appreciate it.
Hey Sal.
Have you ever had a game as a coordinator where your defense only misses 3 tackles? Coach threw that number at us, earlier this week, and I mean that's pretty impressive. I know you didn't have as many plays on the field, but still only 3 in a game is kind of almost unheard of, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've ever had a game where we just missed 3 tackles. I think a lot of times I can probably count on one play where 3 different guys missed a tackle, over the years. But yeah, I mean, I think there's been some teams in the past that tackled well, and when we did tackle well, we probably didn't cause as many fumbles. And I think when the ball carrier goes down on the first tackle, you might not get as many caused fumbles or fumble recoveries. So we've tried to do a really good job of if we tackle well, hopefully playing some zone coverages that we can get some takeaways through the air and get a really good, when the quarterback makes a mistake, make him pay for it. And I think Coach Dixon coordinates that part of our defense for us and just does a tremendous job. Coach Rappel is just and he's put so many good safeties out on the field for us over the last few years. Just can't say enough about those guys. And I think we got some of the best linebackers in coverage in the country. I think those guys can match up really well with some of the guys that we play against, whether it's sometimes a slot receiver or tight end, or a running back coming out of the backfield. So I think Coach Weaver is one of the best at getting those guys to understand leverage and how to play our pass defense. So I think everything works together and complements one another. And missing 3 tackles is again, I don't know that I've ever been in a game where that happened for us, but we needed that in this last one because it was a close one.
No doubt. I know North Texas's quarterback has changed and maybe some of their offensive weapons, but can you take anything from last year's effort on defense where you only held them to a field goal into Saturday's game?
I don't know. Last year we ended up number 1 in the country in red zone defense, and from a percentage standpoint and scores, we were we were always up there at the top of the country, nationally, as far as red zone, and that's something that we take great pride in. So hopefully we can continue to do that. But last year, we just didn't let the ball get over our head. We didn't, we were able to stop the run for the most part, and once you get down in the red zone, we got fourth down stops and got some interceptions, and if you keep points off the board in the red zone, that's a great deal as far as confidence for your team, and I think the offenses feel that lack of confidence sometimes when they don't score in the red zone. So hopefully we don't get down in the red zone very much this next ball game. But if we do, hopefully we can look like we did play like we did last year in the red zone.
Wanted to get your thoughts on the defensive line play through the first two games. I know they've been a little banged up, and maybe how Jacob Tuioti stepped up in the Kansas State game.
Yeah, we lost a lot of defensive linemen from last year. That was one of the places where we had the most depth, and we played a lot of them. This year, I think guys have gone through some injuries and been out of practice a little bit in the preseason, and as we've gotten on into to our bye week, we've got some guys a little bit more healthy, and hopefully that'll help us in this next ball game, because defensive linemen have, in my opinion, the toughest deal on the field, because everybody nowadays are throwing the heck out of the football, and you got a defensive lineman, he's got to rush the quarterback, and then once the quarterback throws it, he's got to turn around and chase the football, and if it screens, he's got to get there for the tackle, and he's got to retrace great. If the ball's thrown way down the field, you got to chase it, because if somebody catches up to that guy and knocks the ball loose, you got to have somebody there to recover a fumble. So those guys run an awful lot. So we appreciate their stamina. We appreciate the effort that they give to our defense. And the other thing is, when teams are running the football, you're seeing double teams all the time. So when teams are comboing off you to the linebacker, those guys are getting the bigger hits. So we've got a great defensive line coach. Coach Smith is somebody I have a lot of confidence in, and has come in and just added an awful lot of energy to our defensive line. And those guys are working really, really hard for him. And I think that's a group that will continue to get better and better and better as our season goes on.
I appreciate it, Coach. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Cool. You're all set, Coach. Appreciate it.